Hey everyone, I'm Ooni Ambassador Lewis Pope, also known as Unholy Pizza, and today I'm going to talk about what effect that salt has on dough. First, I'm going to go through some different types of salt and what I would recommend. There's going to be 3 types of salt that you can use, and you're going to have at least one of these in your cupboard. Sea salt flakes, coarse sea salt, you're fine. Sea salt. My recommendation would be fine sea salt, purely because this is going to be so much easier to dissolve into your dough. If you're using the likes of sea salt flakes or coarse sea salt, it is going to be so much harder to dissolve. So salt just isn't there for flavour, but it's also there to help tighten the gluten structure within your dough and to strengthen it. In the simplest of terms, salt is there to kind of keep the yeast in check. The less amount of salt that you use, the more active that the dough is going to be. Also probably a lot weaker. The most amount of salt that you put in there, it will really slow down the fermentation, or even worse, it may kill it. So what is the right amount of salt that goes into your dough? Typically in Neapolitan style pizza, you're looking between 2.5% to 3% salt. So for example, if you've got 1,000 grams of flour, 2.5% is going to be 25 grams, 3% is 30 grams. The best way to work that out, I would recommend, is use something like the Ooni App. I'm actually going to make 3 different doughs. The first dough is going to be with 0 salt, the second with the recommended amount of 3%, and the third dough with double the amount of the recommended of 6% salt. The first one I'm going to do, the dough ball with 0 salt. I'm going to do a singular dough ball. I'll go for 300 grams. We'll stick to 63% hydration. We're going to take this all the way down to 0. A very short proof of 2 hours. The temperature in this kitchen at the moment is actually quite warm, 23. So this is asking for 184 grams of flour, 116 grams of water, and 4 grams of yeast. 16 grams water, 4 grams of yeast. Now I'm going to make another dough ball, and this time with 3% salt. And we're now going for 6%, which is going to work out at around 11 grams. So we've got 3 dough balls with 3 amounts of salt. The first dough ball is with no salt at all. The second is with 5 grams, so that's about 3%. And then the third is 6% salt, so that's about 11 grams. One with no salt, it's becoming quite active already. They've all got the same amount of yeast, the same amount of water, the same amount of flour. This is the one with no salt. It's become really active, fit to burst. 3% salt, that's spot on. Nice and uniform. 6% salt, hardly any rise. Too much salt really slows down the whole process of what yeast should do. So this has just become so active and this rips so easily. Is the dough ball with 3% salt. It's easy. That's stretching out really well. This is with 6% salt. So you can see that it's hardly risen compared to the other 2. Again, still nice and stretchy, but I can imagine really salty tasting as well. It's hardly any rise. I definitely wouldn't recommend using more than 3%. So there we have it. So there's our 3 doughs with our 3 different levels of salt. I hope this video has helped and it's explained what effect that salt has on your dough, and it will help you to make that decision on how much salt that you're going to put into your dough mixture. If you want to know more, then by all means subscribe to Ooni Pizza Ovens, and if you want to know more information, then head on over to ooni.com.